Okay, so I want to welcome everybody to our class. Sorry about missing last week. Today's class is being sponsored by Barbara Wershafter in honor of her 85th birthday. And she thanks
Oh,
Hashem
oh,
for bringing her to her 85th year. And we are so happy for her. We wish her Yom Huledet Sameach. May she have many, many, many more happy, healthy
oh,
birthdays. I'd may have Esrim. So thank you, Barbara, for sponsoring today's class. And also, I would like to remind everybody that I sent out an email about our Tashlich by the Sea group that we have every year. Ooh, we've been doing that for a long time. So if you want a place on the bus, or if you want, please let me know and respond, because there's limited seating on the bus. Um, and all the details are in the email. If you want to drive, please let me know if you want to take other people with you, so we can offer that option to other people. So that's Tashlich by the Sea this year. And we also have a program. Xenia,
mhm.
would you
Yeah,
like just tell us
sure.
on Monday?
Okay. Okay. On Monday, the 31st of August, next Monday night at 7 p.m., we're having our annual Rosh Hashanah Drasha. And Rav Glicksberg from Hashmonaim is going to be speaking this year. And it should be very interesting. And even though there's no charge for this, we do encourage people to make dedications or donations. And even though there's no charge, please, please call Eileen Goldstein. You must respond so we have an idea of what is needed as far as chairs and l'chaim and everything else. So, but we're looking forward to seeing you at that event, and there's a lot of other upcoming events that there'll be information about at that meeting. So we look forward to seeing you next Monday night. Robin's out of town, so I'm Rose and I are kind of doing
Filling
it.
in, filling
Filling
in
in.
the
Yes, yes,
experienced past
yes,
president.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Um,
everybody.
all right, very good. So, I think we made all our announcements. Please, ladies, if you have your tzedakah boxes, your Hadassah tzedakah boxes, or even your non-Hadassah tzedakah boxes that you would like to empty and drop off at my house, or call me and I'll meet you. Uh, We'd love to have you start the new year with an empty tzedakah box, and we'd like to put all that change into our Hadassah um, goal for meeting our goals for our tzedakah for Hadassah. So please, please let us have your tzedakah change, and we would appreciate it very much. Um, so I think we'll get started. And now, last time we met, we did chapter 5 of Sefer Shmuel Bet. Chapter 5 talked about the process of David putting his kingdom together, and what he needed to do, and of course the capture of Jerusalem. So that was an exciting part. He creates a capital for the country of all Bnei Israel, Jerusalem not being in any one particular tribe. It's on the border of Benjamin and Yehuda, which really was a very, very smart move. Not only was it a strategic move in terms of land and defensibility, because as the Jebusite king thought he had a uh, impenetrable city of Yevus, which was later named Jerusalem, and he did not realize that the uh, uh, the Hebrew troops would come up the water shaft and open the gates to the city and allow the soldiers of Israel to come in and take over the city. Now, having said that, the next thing that David has to do, it's on his agenda, is to bring back the Aron. You know, we have really not seen any mention of the Aron, the Ark of the Covenant, at all since Shaul was basically told by Shmuel that he would lose the kingdom. This is a long time. And the Ark of the Covenant has been sitting all alone in several places. So today, chapter 6 is a description of how David plans to bring the Ark of the Covenant, the Aron, back from its resting place for many, many years to Jerusalem. And David says, if I'm living in a palace, how can Hashem not live in a palace also? You know, he wanted to build the Beit HaMikdash, but God tells him he can't because he's got blood on his hands. He's a warrior, and that his son Shlomo HaMelech would be the one to build the temple where God's Shekhinah would rest. So we're now seeing the process that, unlike Shaul, David is obsessed with Hashem and the Aron and the Ark of the Covenant coming back to Jerusalem and establishing not only a military place of strength, but also God's military place of strength, God's resting place where it would be for all the world to know about Hashem. And that's the beauty of David. No matter what his foibles are, his shortcomings are, he never loses sight of the priority that God anointed him, that God chose him, and that God gave him a mission. And the mission was to bring God and holiness to the world. So we're going to read chapter 6 today. And we're going to stop at different places. It's a very, very complex story. And we're going to see what happens. And then we're going to see some videos that are very fascinating. So stay with me, hang in there, and let's go to the text, and I'm gonna okay. So can everybody see that?
One sentence.
This is Sefer Shmuel, Bet, chapter 6. Let's see. Rivka, would you read for us?
Okay, no problem. Sefer Shmuel 2:6. And David continued to gather all of the chosen of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal Yehuda to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called a name, the name of the Lord of hosts, who dwell upon the cherubim, being upon. Go ahead, Rhonda.
The Kruvim. They were the
Kruvim,
Kruvim.
Kruvim. And they set the ark of God upon a new cart, and they carried it from the house of Avin Adav, and that was on the hill. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Avin Adav, drove the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Avin Adav, which was on the hill with the ark of God. And Ahoy, is it Ahoy? Went before the ark. And David and all of the house of Israel made merry with all manner of instruments of cypress wood, and with harps, and with psalteries, and with timbrels, and with sistra, and with cymbals. And they came to Goran Nachon, and Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and grasped hold of it, for the oxen swayed it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah. Ronda, number 7. Okay. And God struck him down there for his error. And there he died by the ark of God. And David was angered because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah, and he called that place Paratz Uzzah unto this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, how can the ark of the Lord come to me? And David did not want to remove unto him the ark of the Lord unto the city of David. And David took it aside to the house of Obed Edom, the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord dwelled in the house of Obed Edom, the Gittite, 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed Edom and all his household.
Okay. So we're going to stop here. The chapter is much, much longer, but we're going to stop at this particular point. You see that I've copied the text and I have made red some very important items that I want to discuss with you. So, what did we learn from the reading all this? Can anyone just, give me a little summary? What did we learn?
Well, first of all, they were kept in people's houses.
What was the ark was kept in?
The
Okay.
ark was kept in people's homes.
Okay.
Sounds that. And what's his name? And whoever the gentleman was who touched the ark, I mean, he was doing something to straighten it, shouldn't fall off the cart.
Right.
He was struck down and he was killed.
Right.
And I know that they weren't allowed to touch it. That's why they had the poles. But I mean, if you're going to straighten the ark, it shouldn't fall on the ground. It is being killed. Is
Oh.
is that right? I mean, to me.
Okay.
And okay, I don't know what else.
Well, that's a very good take. The question that begs to be asked is, here's this man Uzzah who sees that on the cart the Aron is gonna the ox kind of lost its footing, and the cart sways, and it looks like the Aron is going to fall off. And Uzzah, in any natural circumstances, went and tried to right the cart and make sure that the Aron doesn't fall, and he was struck dead. That seems a little harsh. But there's something we are not understanding, and I think that it shows that David also did not he didn't read his Torah before he attempted to move the Aron. And it was very, very important that he does read that he knew exactly how to move the Aron. You couldn't just lift it up, throw it on the back of a moving truck, and then schlep it to wherever you're going. There was a process. Now, this process is very, very important. And we're going to read the Torah laws on transporting articles of the Mishkan. What's one of the most important articles of the Mishkan? The Aron. Now, it's very, very important that we learn why this man was struck dead, Uzzah. Why was such a terrible thing imposed on him? So we're going to go back to Bamidbar, Numbers, chapter 4, verse 1, and we're going to read what the Torah tells us about the laws of moving the items from the Mishkan. Now, don't forget, all these items from the Mishkan were in where originally? Do you remember? Shiloh. And we know that Eli was the last priest in Shiloh. And what happened? He had corrupt sons. They fought the Philistines. They take the Aaron out into the battlefield, thinking that it's like a good luck charm. And God says, "No, I'm not just this good luck charm you take out into the field. There's a whole process, and I gave you the rules and regulations, and you didn't listen. And so consequently, you're going to lose the war with the Philistines. And I'm going to punish you by removing the Aaron from your midst." And the Philistines take it. Do you remember? They take it back with them to their land, and they think they've captured the God of Israel that they know so much about, and they bring the Aaron into the temple of the Philistine god. And what happens? There's destruction in the temple. The god is destroyed. The Philistine god is destroyed. And there's an outbreak that is translated as hemorrhoids. Remember that? And the people say it's a terrible plague. They said, "Get rid of this thing. Get rid of this thing." And the Aaron goes to three different Philistine cities. The last one is Ekron, and the people say to their governor of the city, "Get rid of this thing. We can't stand this plague." And the Aaron is sent back to Beit Shemesh on a cart. And the Philistines are done with the Aaron. They want nothing to do with it. Now, the Philistines did not know the laws of how to transport the Aaron, and they put it on a cart. But the Jews had the Torah, and they did know how to transport it, and it was not on a cart. Now, let's read this. This is, like I said, Bamidbar, chapter 4. Do I have Adele? Can you read for me, please?
Sure. God spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, "Take a census of the clan of Kahat from among the Levites by their families, according to their fathers' houses."
All right, now, wait, this is the family of Levites. Only Levites, the family of Kahat. It's Aaron's family. Go ahead.
Okay. From the age of 30 until the age of 50, all who are eligible for the troop to do work in the tent of meeting. The following is the service of the clan of Kahat in in transporting the tent of meeting. They will carry the holiest of the holy furnishings.
What does it say? They will what?
They will carry the holiest.
Carry. They will carry all the items of the house of meeting. That's the Mishkan. Okay? The Levites will carry. So right there, if you think about it, what was the first mistake that David makes in bringing back the Aaron?
Transporting it by cart instead of carrying it.
There you go. He did not have a Levite. It does not say Uzzah was a Levite. It does not say anybody was a Levite. It said that he gathered 30,000 people and he was going to make a whole big show of it. And he puts it on a cart. It's not where it should have been. So let's continue.
When the camp is about to travel, Aaron and his sons must come and take down the partition curtain and cover the ark of the testimony with it. They must put a covering of tachash skin on it, and on top of that, they must spread a cloth bag made of wool completely dyed turquoise. Then they must put its poles in place.
Now, this is I put that it was the that included, they had Aaron and his sons were the wrappers. They wrapped everything, the menorah, the altar, the incense altar, and the table for the showbreads and the aron. All those things that were in the Mishkan, those holy vessels, were wrapped in this certain way by Aaron and his sons. Now, the family of Kahat were the movers. They were the Levites who were allowed to touch and carry, not put on a cart, not whatever, carry these items a certain way. So let's continue. Go ahead.
Aaron and his sons must finish covering the holy furnishings and all the utensils of the sanctuary when the camp is set to travel, and only afterwards must the clan of Kahat come to carry them. But the clan of Kahat needs to move up a little. Clan of Kahat, but the clan of Kahat must not touch the sacred objects, for then they will die. These furnishings are the burden of the clan of Kahat in transporting the tent of meeting.
Okay, so here's why Uzzah died. Read that again. But the clan of
Kahat must not touch the sacred objects, for then they will die.
Okay, that is exact. There's the explanation of why Uzzah, who was not a Levi, who was not carrying the Aron, he went to touch the Aron. He was not allowed to touch the Aron, and it says, "And you will die." Can't be. It's like buying a hair dryer and then going into the shower with it, not reading the instructions that you don't use a hair dryer in the shower. And then you kill yourself and your family wants to know why you died. I mean, this is if you don't read the instructions or the directions and you don't learn them, those items, then there are consequences. And God has specific rules and regulations on everything. So let's go here now, continue.
And God spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, "Do not let the tribe of the families of Kahat be eliminated from among the Levites. Do this for them, so that they should live and not die when they approach the holiest of the holy things. Aaron and his sons must first come and appoint each man individually to his task and his load. They must not come in to see when the holy furnishings are being wrapped up, lest they inadvertently touch them and die."
So here this is exactly what Hashem tells Moshe and Aaron, that they don't come in until Aaron and his sons have wrapped everything. And once everything is wrapped properly, then they can the family of Kahat, the Levium, can come in and move the items. Until then, it says in the last sentence, they may inadvertently, if they come in too early, they may inadvertently touch the items and die. And there it is in plain print. So, in addition to that, here is a second reason of what happened in chapter 6 that we're reading about the cart. Continue. And that's from Parsha Naso, chapter 7, verse 9.
But to the clan of Kahat, he did not give any wagons, for incumbent upon them was the work involving the holy objects, which they were to carry on their shoulders.
There you go. In the desert, 4 years, 4 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, 23 years, 24 years, 25 years, 26 years, 27 years, 28 years, 29 years, 30 years, 31 years, 32 years, 33 years, 34 years, 35 years, 36 years, 37 years, 38 years, 39 years, 40 years, 41 years, 42 years, 43 years, 44 years, 45 years, 46 years, 47 years, 48 years, 49 years, 50 years, 51 years, 52 years, 53 years, 54 years, 55 years, 56 years, 57 years, 58 years, Moshe gets a bunch of carts, brand new carts, and he distributes them and he gives them to a couple of the tribes. But the tribe of Kahat, the Levium of the family of Aaron, do not get any wagons. They get no carts, no wagons, nothing, because their job was to carry on their shoulders. Had Moshe given them the carts, they may have said, it's so much easier to just put this thing, all this furniture from the Mishkan, on a cart, wrap it up and pack it away and send it on the Zim line to Eretz Yisrael. No, Moshe made a a choice not to give any carts to the family of Kahat, the family of Levium of Aaron, so they would not be tempted to put anything on the carts. And this is how the commandment reads. They get everything, this family of Kahat, get everything wrapped, ready to go, and they carry it on their shoulders. So let's go back now.
Rhonda, but whose fault is it that they didn't know this?
Well, one would one
David?
uh,
Moshe?
no, I think that well, I can't say whose fault it was, but I'm trying to come up with a good analogy about if someone comes into shul and they don't know anything about Torah, and then they do something, that's inappropriate during the Torah reading.
They should have prepared themselves and looked it up themselves and researched what they
Right,
need to do.
right. If you know that you're gonna be responsible for something very, very important,
Right.
it would seem to me that you would do a little research or ask somebody or find out from somebody more knowledgeable what the rules and regulations are. That's,
Okay.
My take.
Okay.
So, and I'm not saying that David wasn't also responsible, because he allowed this to happen. He brings all these men, all these people. He amasses 30,000 people. That's huge. That's that's like a Macy's parade, and you come and you make what he's done here. It says David gathers these people. He then they set the ark on the of God on a cart right there. I have it in red so you'll see it plain as day. There's the first boo-boo. Okay. First boo-boo, if you know the Torah, there's the first mistake. And then it says that Uzzah, bends over to try and catch it. But it also, some of the Mefarshim say this pasuk right here, number 5, is actually one of the biggest mistakes of all. And it starts with, and David and all the house of Israel made merry. In other words, they brought out this ark. The reverence that they were showing was more like a parade than it was a religious significant event. And had they read the parsha, or the parshiot of transporting the Aron, they would see that having cymbals and making merry and dancing and harps and psalteries and cymbals and all this stuff was not the proper way to bring the Aron to Jerusalem. And for this, David is it says he he becomes angry, but he had nobody to be angry at except himself because he wasn't prepared. He thought his heart was good. It was good. His intentions were good. He wanted to bring the Aron to Jerusalem, but he didn't prepare in the proper way. And the Levium weren't carrying it. They were making merry. They were really turning it into a um, uh, almost like a Simcha Beit HaShueva party, with all the instruments, and it was inappropriate and not the correct way to bring the Aron into Jerusalem. So it says here, and David, can you read this again?
Which pasuk?
Right here.
And David did not want to remove onto him the ark of the Lord onto the city of David. And David took it aside to the house of Obed Edom and the Gittite.
The Gittite. Okay, so it said before this, right here, David
was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, "How can the ark of the Lord come to me?"
Right. So he says, how am I going to bring this thing to Jerusalem if this is what's going to happen? There's something wrong here. So he must have said, okay, everybody, everyone go home. Let's leave this ark here with Oved, the Edom Gittite, and we'll see we'll come back another day. We need to figure this out. I'm not touching this thing. I'm not going to risk anybody else's life, and I'm not going to do the wrong thing in the eyes of God. So the Aron stays where it was, and it was not going to be brought at that time, and it stays there for 3 months. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I really think that it's important that we go to some of the videos that I have to see the route of the Aron. It's very, very special, and I think that we will get a sense of the significance of how holy this was for Bnei Yisrael, and because they weren't really realizing it. So I'm going to switch over.
Rhonda, before you do that,
Yeah.
when we were reading that part about how they made merry and it wasn't, that Hashem was angry.
Yeah.
How is that different than when we do a Hachnesed Sefer Torah? When we carry the Torah to its new place, we do make merry, and so is that not okay? Or
Well, that
it
wasn't
seems to
the
me,
that wasn't the Aron with
yeah,
the
okay,
Kruvim.
okay.
When we make a Sefer Torah, we are happy, but it doesn't turn into a mob scene of 30,000 people.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's done properly.
Okay, thank you.
Usually the Torah is being carried, and it's a whole different thing today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so can everybody see this picture of this guy up
Yeah.
here? Okay. Let me know if you can hear it. If you can't hear it, let me know. All right. Now we're going to watch three-part video. It may have some advertisements in it. I'll try and speed it up a little bit. But it's very, very interesting. So stick with me for a little while. There's a very interesting archaeologist called Danny the Digger in Israel, and he's being interviewed by this guy, and it's the route of the Aron. So let's see.
Another adventure, and we are looking at where the Ark of the Covenant.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Wait.
Now we can't hear.
Advertisement.
Oh,
I'm here with Danny the Digger from DannyTheDigger.com, one of the best, most informed tour guides in all of Israel. You have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And where are you taking me today?
So Tel Bet Shemesh is the name of the biblical site of the house of the sun, whose name implies that maybe Canaanites worship the sun god here.
Okay.
And maybe this was the very hilltop where, I don't know, sacrifices were made to please the sun.
Wow.
But we don't have a Canaanite Bible. What we do have is a Jewish Bible, which tells us of the events happening here in the days of the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
And Tel Bet Shemesh actually plays a major role in the stations of the Ark.
Okay.
The Ark was given to Moses to keep the Ten Commandments.
Are you secretly spending hours in these classes or what?
No, you know my schedule. I barely have time.
Carried it across the desert.
Yeah.
You see the poles? You see the Levites carrying it properly?
On their shoulders.
Made the Jordan River split when they entered the Promised Land. It made the walls of Jericho come tumbling down. And then it was kept in Shiloh.
Okay.
Okay?
And how far is Shiloh from here?
Shiloh is, I don't know, 50 kilometers north of us.
Okay.
But then in a critical battle against the Philistines, the Israelites lost.
Right.
Eli suggests, you know what, take the ark with you. This time we will definitely win. But they don't.
Right.
And the ark falls to their hands.
And is this the story where the messenger comes back and he tells him and he falls backward in his chair and he dies?
Yes.
Okay.
Eli dies from hearing of this. His two sons also die, and the ark is in the hands of the Philistines, where the sun is setting down, the arch enemies of the Israelites.
Okay.
And they rejoice and are all excited.
Yeah.
But boy, do they regret that, as it causes a plague.
Yeah.
It causes a plague in Ashdod. It causes a plague in Gath. And the people of Ekron reach the conclusion, we better not bring it into the city. So they keep it outside the city for 7 months till they create a carriage with all respect to send it back to the Israelites. Wow. Now, Ekron was identified in the 1990s right under the sun, right behind that ridge.
Okay.
It's in Tel Mukanna, near Kibbutz Revadim. And the closest Israelite city to the Ekronites is here,
Bet Shemesh.
Tel Bet Shemesh, biblical Bet Shemesh.
Okay.
So the Bible tells us in such a vivid way of the Israelites harvesting their fields. It's a bit too early now, but in a few weeks it will be harvest time. All of a sudden, what is this? The carriage! They're in the ark! Imagine how excited they were to see the ark on a carriage being sent to them. And the Philistines were walking behind it up to the border, made sure it continues in the right direction, and went back. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what happens next? It tells us that the Israelites all rejoice. They brought the ark to the plot of Joshua of Bet Shemesh,
Okay.
some personal plot of a member of the community here. They put the ark on a big stone. Remember every word now.
Okay. On a big stone.
Big stone, and then they sacrificed the cows who carried the carriage.
Right.
Okay.
So it was bittersweet. The Philistines, they conquered and they took the most holy relic, and then it was a catastrophe. They had tumors, cancer, or all kinds of bad luck. Or what would you?
The Bible uses a term which could be interpreted as hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids. Really?
Of all. Whatever it was very unpleasant.
Yes.
And the Philistines decided, with all respect, to just get rid of it and send it back to the Israelites.
Okay.
And Bet Shemesh, being the closest city to Philistine land,
Yeah.
ended up being the city that received it. The ark was kept here. The cows were sacrificed. Everyone was happy, except that then it caused a plague to the Israelites.
And why did it cause a plague for the Israelites?
That I don't know, but it caused. The text implies that the reason is that the priests were not maintaining it.
Oh, okay. So they weren't doing their
it doesn't
proper-
say it in specifically, but it implies it.
Okay.
Because then the Israelites have a priest taking it from here to Kiryat Yarim. It's a hill above the village of Abu Ghosh, just west of Jerusalem.
Which Abu Ghosh is an Arab village today, right?
Today. But
Yeah.
the hilltop above it contains remains from the Iron Age. And the Bible tells us that now that it's in the hands of the priests in Kiryat Yarim, for 20 years it doesn't do any damage. It's not killing anyone.
Right.
So what the text is trying to say is that it should be in the hands of the Israelites and only operated by the priests.
Okay.
Now, Chris,
Yes.
what are the chances that archaeology will actually detect a flat slab of stone in the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant in a level that fits the 11th century, the time that this story took place?
So I've been coming to Israel for a long time. I've been to many archaeological sites. There's lots of stones.
Yes.
I would say the chances are very, very slim that they would find something that exact.
Okay. So now what?
Okay.
First of all, this is the northern edge of the site.
Yeah.
The site has been investigated from the early 20th century.
Okay.
In the 1990s, an expedition from Tel Aviv University uncovered here a very interesting site by itself. I don't know if the camera can see this.
Okay, with those metal bars down there?
Yes, that's actually a giant underground water reservoir.
Like a cistern.
Yes, that
Okay.
was made to
Yeah.
prepare the city for the Assyrian attack. Great stories of a later time.
Right.
But here, they continued the excavations, and if the surface is modern times to Middle Ages, then you go just half a meter beneath it and the Iron Age appears.
Okay.
Now follow me carefully,
Okay.
because it's not really set up for visits. Whoop.
Okay.
I said
Okay.
carefully.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just taking this filter off.
And here, the excavations reached the specific layer of the 11th century in the Iron Age,
Okay.
which proved to contain 1, 2, and 3 round flat stones.
All right, I'm getting a shot of these stones now. So what is the significance of these 3 flat?
So
round
one of
stones?
them already broke,
Okay.
but these 2 are still in position. And look how they're round, flat,
Yes.
and they have these grooves to drain liquids.
Okay.
It's not the base of a pillar or anything. See?
Yeah.
It's
So-
definitely something to drain liquids out of.
So I've seen other stones with channels to drain liquids, like in an olive press.
Exactly.
Okay.
But where are the other components of the olive press? You don't have it. You only have those flat stones.
Okay.
So when this was found about 10 years ago, I visited the site and told the archaeologists, hey, Tzvi, maybe this is where the cows were sacrificed when the ark was brought back. And he had a big laugh and said, Danny, you can tell that to your tourists. But for me as a scientific person, I don't know if this is scientific enough. So you can be sure I used to bring people and tell them that I personally think that you cannot rule out the possibility this is part of the story of the ark being returned and the cows being slaughtered right here.
Right, and this very location.
Okay? But then,
Okay.
2019,
Right.
the last season before COVID, when excavations was carried out, Tzvi decides to excavate in this direction. Now, this is a bulk. This is just a natural field that still needs to be removed. Or when archaeologists dig, they dig in squares and they leave these bulks to give you the horizontal dimension.
Okay, and we're seeing layers of civilization and dirt and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Especially here, it looks like a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
You have a lot of layers of dark ash, and you even have animal bones here.
So that's an animal bone.
Yes, here and here.
Yeah, and the dark ash that would indicate like fire.
Either a fire, or he actually proposed that this might relate to a den where animals were kept. But the lower ones look more like they're relating to a fire.
Okay.
But the punchline, Chris,
Okay. Yeah.
is what's on the other side of that book.
Is it the ark? We're gonna
Follow
find
me.
the ark.
No, not the ark. I'm not saying the ark
I know.
is here to this day.
You don't say. I'll say it, and I'll get everybody excited. And
But I will say that what I'm going to show you might be the place where the ark is kept.
okay.
Watch. Here on this side, we have a big flat stone in the back of the sacrificial area. It is flat, it is rectangular, and in fact, it is in the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible tells us the Ark was a cubit and a half by 2 cubits and a half. This is a cubit.
Okay.
So a cubit and a half by 1, 2, just a bit more than 2.5 cubits.
All right, dude, can you do that again? I want to see that again. So you're saying a cubit is a cubit, show us a
This
cubit?
is a hand cubit. It was hand breadth. This was used as a measurement
Okay.
for heights.
Right. Okay.
So
Cubit and a half.
cubit and a half
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
by 1, 2, and a bit less than 3 cubits. So it's slightly bigger than the size of the ark, which makes sense. You want to make sure it's stable.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't.
Are you with me?
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
This is a flat stone of the size of the ark, found in Bet Shemesh in a layer that correlates the time the ark was placed here. And the Bible tells us it was kept on a big stone.
And it says Bet Shemesh. Like it gives us the location, so we're not making stuff up here. This is the real.
No one doubts that this is biblical Bet Shemesh, but this is brand new, sensational discovery that you could argue is where the ark was actually placed. This is the location where it was housed until it caused a plague, and then it was taken away.
So we're standing in what essentially would have been for a short time the whole.
Okay, so now he has identified an area of in Beit Shemesh where he believes is the ark, a place where the Ark of the Covenant stayed for a while, but they didn't want to leave it there. Remember, they decided because there was so many people died as a result of touching it in the wrong place. So they wanted to make sure that they got rid of the Aron. So they send it to Yarim Yavesh. So we're going to go now to.
So I'm here with my good friend.
So we're going to go and see what the Yarim Yavesh site looked like, because that was the second location that it went to. We're going to only see a little bit of that because it's a very long one, and then we're going to go to where possibly Oved the Edom Gittite was. So can you see this?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, and we are on an adventure. We are retracing. Would you say we're tracing
Trying to find the stations of the Ark of the Covenant. Site we're going to see now, according to the biblical text, is where the ark was held for 20 years.
20 years. 20 years at this spot. And so in your mind, the ark really did exist. It's not just some fable story.
Can everyone hear this?
Find some other proof. I don't see a reason to doubt it.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that so many details around the stories of the ark have been validated by archaeology.
Okay.
Low.
You really need to have a creative mind to suggest it's all fiction.
Yeah.
There's just too many details that fit what the text tells us.
That's cool. So 20 years, and where in the Bible does it talk about this space?
So we are told that the Philistines captured it. Okay, that's a famous story. But after inflicting a plague, it's returned to the Israelites. It's kept in Bet Shemesh, only to inflict a plague on the Israelites.
Right.
And then it's taken to Kiryat Yarim, to the home of Avinadav, who creates a special place for it and has his son Elazar in charge of the ark.
Okay.
And this site is called Der Elazar, serving the name.
Okay.
And the name of the village around it used to be called Kiryat El-Annab.
Okay.
The word Kiryat is there as well.
That sounds Arabic when you say it.
Yes, because these are now Arabic names, but Arabic names are often preserving the old biblical names.
Okay.
Okay, and then watch and see now what archaeology has to say about this site.
Yeah.
Prepared to be surprised.
Oh man, I am very excited. I've been to Israel now at least 60 times, and this is my very first time at this site.
Yes, this site is not so accessible. It's a functioning, it's an operating monastery. It's open only a few hours of the day.
Yeah.
Not open on Sunday. You need to know when to come. And for many, many years, there wasn't much to see here relating to the art. But in recent years, a team from Tel Aviv University has done some very interesting work, and that's what I want to show you.
Okay, all right, let's go. Let's not waste any time, especially if this is going to close soon.
Yes.
And so for everyone watching this right now, Danny and I are actually filming a little bit of a teaser for a series that we would really like to do. Danny's got a lot of great insight, a lot of great ideas. There's so much to explore in this land.
Hold on. Let's just switch the camera.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
now the camera will show from the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it show the sculpture there?
Let's see. The screen goes off after a while. Let me just. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna switch arms. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Is the camera showing the big sculpture there in the
Yes,
back?
it's right between us. Yeah.
It's Mary and baby Jesus,
Okay.
but she's standing on top of a box.
And what would that box
And
be?
the box has winged figures on both
That
sides.
sounds familiar.
It's called the Notre Dame de l'Arc de l'Alliance, the place of Mary of the Ark of the Covenant.
Mary.
It's a Christian institution, but it's
Okay.
combining the New Testament figures with the reputation of the site as relating to the Ark of the Covenant.
Very cool. All right, let's go get some shots and let's do our teaser.
Amen.
All right.
Okay, so so they're now showing us the area of Kiryat Yavesh, where the ark was stood for 20 years in the rest of a man named Elazar. And he just told us how the Arabic name is coincidentally includes Elazar. And now he's going to show it's a whole long video of this area and the archaeological sites where he believes that they found where the Aron rested for the 20 years. Now, after remember now, where does David come? He comes to Kiryat Yavesh, and he takes the Aron, but they don't get very far. It seems like within minutes, I mean, could have been 10, 20 minutes. The next thing they know, someone is dead. And so consequently, David says, no, stop here. We're going to give it to somebody to watch it. We're not moving this Aron. And the place where they leave it is at Oved the Gittite. Now, just FYI, Oved the Gittite was very interesting. Why would they leave it? Clearly a Gittite didn't say that the Hebrews that the Jews watched it. They just needed to let it rest because David was afraid that moving it any further would cause a problem. And where they left it, you will see what the situation was.
Okay,
Now,
Danny.
okay, so now let's go to the last place where David leaves it, and before he takes it to Jerusalem. Now, this is a very familiar sight. You're not going to believe this.
So we just came from
Kiryat
Yarim, and so the ark was there for 20 years. It was on its way to Jerusalem. That poor soul saw the ark was falling, and he reached out, he touched it, And he died
Died instantly.
instantly.
So
Was there lightning? What does it say? It doesn't say anything.
Boom, he's dead.
All right.
The spot where it was placed for 3 months
Yeah.
was called Bet Oved Edom Hagiti. A
Okay.
very mysterious name. We don't really know what it stands for, but it had to be a holy place.
Okay.
Now, we are now halfway between Kiryat Yearim and Jerusalem
Right.
in a valley called Motza. It's known
Motza.
from the book of Joshua. It's mentioned in the Second Temple period. Some even suggest that this is Emmaus, where Jesus appeared after
Okay.
his resurrection.
Wow.
But when they decided to improve the highway above our heads and make this big bridge, salvage excavations were carried out, and they found some interesting stuff beneath the anchors of the upper parts of this bridge.
Okay.
This is Highway 1, but it's right near Mivaseret, the exit from Mivaseret. So when you're going from Modi'in to Jerusalem, when you get on Highway 1 to the area, it was Motza, you'll see a sign that says Motza after Abu Ghosh. You'll see the sign for this area. And underneath Highway 1, which is this bridge here, is this excavation.
Here is where they found the true sensation.
Okay, now I see all these circles. They look fascinating to me, but I don't know anything.
Yes.
What are these things?
So granaries, these are silos. These are to keep grains, and they are common to early Iron Age.
Okay,
When
so
the Israelites settled in this land, the book of Joshua, or even more the book of Judges, they settled in small farms and contained liquids in big jars and contained the grains in big silos.
okay, so you would expect to find something like this in a community from that time?
Yes, but I didn't have any clue that there was such a site here. It was a big surprise to see that Motza was settled in the book of Judges. It's not mentioned in the book of Judges. It's only mentioned once and in the book of Joshua. So that alone was a surprise, and especially the scale. Usually the silos are about a quarter of the size of this, and maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5. Look how many you have here.
So this many, this size, what does that tell you then? It's a large
It's a
community?
regional center for collecting grains, is
Okay.
what this is suggesting. This was a big fertile valley.
Yeah.
They grew wheat and they collected it here.
And if the ark was being transported from Kiryat Yearim to Jerusalem, it suggests this is a path, this is a route, this is someplace
Yes.
that you would have commerce, trade,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes. But then we found a building next to this, storage area,
Okay,
which is possibly where the ark was actually kept.
you're kidding me.
Let me show you.
Okay,
It's a building built over the edge of the granaries. In fact, the courtyard still has some of those granaries.
so this is pretty cool. I've been on a bunch of archaeology sites before, but I don't know. There's something special about this. And actually, where I'm staying on this trip, I'm staying just up the road at a friend's house, and I can't believe I've been driving by this site for years, and I've no idea.
People drive here by the thousands every day over the very spot where the ark was placed for 3 months without being aware of it.
Because this is one of the busiest highways, isn't it?
It's probably the very busiest highway in all of Israel. The road between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all roads lead to Jerusalem, and this is number one.
This is the main road to Jerusalem.
And it's called number one.
It's called road number 1. Yes. The British gave it that number and we kept
You
it.
kept it.
Now,
Okay.
this is where it got really, really interesting because, and this is still exposed. Everything else is covered up, but for some reason, this is left exposed even now. It's a square. Ooh, some truck driver is upset. And first of all, it's square in shape. It's made of unhewn stones. It's just a bit less than 2.5 cubits by 2.5 cubits, meaning it's a biblical measurement. And they found figures, clay figurines around it.
Okay.
Clay figurines suggest this area had a cultic function.
So okay, just to take a step back, what's the significance? You've mentioned a couple times unhewn stones. Why is that significant?
The Bible tells us that God likes to be venerated in the form of animal sacrifices done on altars, which are square, 5 cubits by 5 cubits. So this is a smaller version of it. And the stone should be natural stones.
Natural stone. So that means not
Not
polished.
hewn, not polished, not shaped in any way. What's missing is the horns. But look how the cornerstones are bigger. And maybe it did have horns made out of wood or something that didn't last. But both the shape and the figurines found around it suggest people did relate to this as a holy place, as a place of some sort of sacrifice.
Okay.
Okay?
Wow.
And that's a big surprise, especially considering that you have silos right next to it. It is as if the storage of the grains is combined with the ritual here.
Okay, so it's just occurring to me that so this is a time between when the ark was at Shiloh.
No, it's way after.
It's still but between. So this is the time between Shiloh and between Solomon building the temple.
Yes, almost the last station.
So they had to because I think of all the rituals at the temple, but this is in between that time. So they had the rituals for the tabernacle.
Exactly.
So,
in Shiloh, it was kept in a temporary temple, a mobile temple. It's called the tent of meeting or tabernacle.
Yes, and so this is a time between the official temple and between the tabernacle. It's been taken by the Philistines.
Yes, inflicting a plague.
Yeah.
Returned to the Israelites, inflicting a plague even among the Israelites.
Yeah.
Placed in isolation as if it was quarantine on the hilltop called Kiryat Yearim
for 20 years.
For 20 years.
Yeah.
And then David finally, when he takes over Jerusalem, he brings it to Jerusalem, but then it kills someone on the way, so they stop it and place it halfway in between.
But only for 3 months.
Yes.
But 3 months would be enough time for them to build this stuff. Am I getting that right? The correct?
I think that there was a temple here to begin with.
Ah, okay.
And because it caused a death to someone, they said, let's put it in that temple.
Ah, okay.
That's what I think.
All right. And then
Okay, so do you hear? This is fascinating stuff. It really is amazing. You know, these are places that we probably could never get to as a group, but it's absolutely fascinating to find the actual place where David says, just stop, and let the ark rest right here until we figure out how we can move it to Jerusalem in a way that won't kill anybody and is properly brought the way Hashem wants it. So it's at this point where I think we're going to stop. Next week we will continue in the same chapter to see what happens if and when they get to the to Yerushalayim. And at that point, David has to figure out what to do with the Aron because he's told he can't build a temple. The Beit Hamikdash is going to be for his son, and he doesn't at that point have Solomon as his son. So all of this that we know about is going to have to wait. So it's very fascinating that we live in the country where everything that the Torah tells us happens and we can see it. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And I hope each one of these little videos, I didn't want to play the whole thing, we'd be here for hours, shows you that these particular places are valid, are real, and we own it. So you know, if we could own all of God's commandments and owned a Torah life, you know, as well as the sites that these places, we'd be in great shape. So I'm going to stop and wish you all a good week. And thank you for joining. And are there any questions?
No, I just wanted to say one thing.